What's up, car fam? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. You got Kev here. And today I want to talk to you guys about this Motor Trend article where it says we towed with our Ford F-150 Lightning so you won't have to. And the good, bad, and ugly of trailering with America's best-selling electric pickup. Is that true? Is the Ford F-150 Lightning really America's best-selling electric pickup? I mean, granted, it's one of the only ones. If you didn't have an electric pickup from Ford, you would have to have a Rivian. And this article is from, what's the date on this article? This article is from February 19th, yesterday. So technically, the Cybertruck would be included in that. So what other pickup? Oh, then you got the Silverado EV, which I don't know if the Silverado EV is out. And then you got the Hummer. So there's not a lot of options out there to choose from in comparison for the best pickup. This is a really clever strategy here, Motor Trend, with your titling. But before we get into that, I've got a bunch more that I want to talk just a little bit about, and also maybe get into the habit of doing a little bit of an intro. My name's Kevin. I'm a car guy, and I just like cars. I like trucks. I like motorcycles. I like anything that has an engine and goes fast, or has a motor and goes fast. I don't really care. Even if it doesn't go fast, you know, some of the coolest cars out there are the ones that you can have fun driving a slow car fast. You see what I'm saying? Those are the ones that help keep your license, or at least a little bit better. But yeah, that is it. I don't know if I should have a better intro or not. You know, I don't have any credentials or anything like that. I'm just some guy who likes cars and likes making YouTube videos, and also has the hope and goal that maybe this fall or this summer, fall, I don't remember exactly when, this channel can actually be approved to go to SEMA for some car coverage. We have been to SEMA, my wife and I. We did go to SEMA a few years ago, but we went under another company, not our own. So one of our goals is to get this channel up to the point where it would be approved by SEMA for press or media or whatever they call it. But in other videos, I'm going to be sharing these articles and just talking to you guys. I'm not going to be an article reader. I'm not going to pretend to present the news and pretend like this is like breaking news. I just find these things interesting, and I like talking about them. And if you do too, then maybe this will work out. But this was from Business Insider, and it says that Biden's lofty EV requirements might not survive the election year. That is really interesting, and earlier than expected. You know, when I was telling you guys about Ford and their pushback on this EV, and the second letter they sent to Biden about it, I was worried about Ford, and you know, something has to be done. But I didn't think it would be this quick, this fast. And quite possibly, depending on what happens in November, this could all go away. This could all be turned around. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of factors working against Biden for re-election. And some of those come down from not just you and I, but from these big companies, these big manufacturers like Ford, Exxon, Chevron, BP. Like, there's some people out there that they want to keep making money and they don't really like what could be if, you know, either way. We're not going to go down that political road, but the Detroit Free Press says that Ford cuts price of the 2023 Mustang Mach-E by up to $8,100 and offers 0% financing. Now, you guys know how these deals and incentives work. Obviously, you know how this goes. We're not going to cover that story right now, but it is yet another story. What the hell just happened? It is another story I want to cover in a future video. And, you know, it's like, if Ford could cut the price and get rid of these Mach-E's, do you think they would build anymore? just get rid of it. You know, think about it. Why would Ford, or any manufacturer for that matter, terminate a model. It's because it wasn't profitable. Except for Stellantis, Dodge. The end of the Challenger and the Charger, I mean, is obviously a great selling vehicle for them. It had to be profitable. So there's some other reason. There's an outside force. My thoughts, my opinion, take it for what it's worth, is that they did it intentionally to create demand. They've created scarcity. They are going to have people wanting a replacement Challenger or Charger. So they've built in this opportunity to build this gap. And it's a gamble, it's a bet, because you lose out on the sales and the profitability in the meantime. But instead of going from the Challenger Hellcat 170 variants that we have of today, and then immediately cutting it off, and, you know, in my case, unfortunately, you know, Porsche saying, hey, Kevin, if you want a new Macan, it has to be battery powered. It has to be 100% electric. So that's a bummer. So with Dodge, Stellantis, it's like, well, let's create a gap. Let's make people really, really want this car that they can't have. And then when we roll out the electric model, they'll buy it because they've missed it, and they'll take whatever they can get. That's just my thought, my opinion. Marketing strategy, right? But hey, you know, let's think about it. The Mercedes C63 AMG, which is a 4-cylinder electric hybrid, crazy powerful, crazy fast, all-wheel steering monster, that when they released it, they didn't want anybody to drive it. They only wanted Mercedes to drive it, Mercedes drivers to drive it, so that they could provide journalists with the best experience possible and downplay any negativity that would come from the change of the V8, lack thereof. And if they had a gap and they said, yeah, you've missed the C63 for 3 or 4 years, well, it's back, maybe they shouldn't have called it a C63. Maybe they should have called it something else. People have this idea in their head of what a C63 should be, and it's not. And it's like, well, here it is, and it's fast as fuck. Okay, we'll take it. It doesn't sound like much, but it's fast. Think about it. See, like Chevrolet with Corvette, they've done some interesting things with that E-Ray. And I think that one is actually going to perform well. I think it will. I'll have to look into that and see how it's doing so far. But then if Dodge introduces the Challenger, electric vehicles are inherently fast because it's immediate power, torque on demand. It's unbelievable. It's unreal. Does this create a challenge for the Hellcat 170 by the new base model basically having the ability to be faster because it's electric? Whew, it's going to be an interesting time. Interesting time. But another one here is, here are the new cars with the highest markups and biggest discounts off MSRP. I'm kind of curious on who's on the list. My angry email. Oh, that's a different one. This is a different story for a different channel. This was actually kind of funny. My angry email to HR made its way all the way up the chain. CEO decides to make all remote workers start coming to the office. And they were like, wait, I was hired as a remote worker. Why am I coming into the office? But this one here, I don't know anything about it, but it looks cool. The 2024 Ford F-150 Raptor R pushes the edges of the possible. Exclusive 833 rear-wheel horsepower supercharged 2024 Mustang GT drag test. Lethal Performance toss us the keys to their Whipple supercharged 833 rear-wheel horsepower 2024 Mustang GT, and we immediately flogged it at the track. Now, this one is intentional because, Anthony, if you're watching, I want to know how this compares to your Mustang GT. He's got a 2017 or 18, I don't remember, with a supercharger on it. Weak sales, according to CarScoop's, weak sales lead to biggest inventory since pandemic. Stellantis drowning in unsold cars. Ooh, maybe I was off with the Charger and Challenger and how good it was performing. Let's see here. This one's about influencers. Oh, and this one is the new Ford inventory at over 100 days supply in January 2024. FordAuthority.com. So those are some that I want to get into. I got about 16% battery left on my GoPro here, and I think it's working out with this GoPro Hero 11 Black. I'm shooting right now in 1080p, 60 frames per second, linear with the horizon lock on. The GoPro is set up to automatically record even if the power's off by pressing record. So obviously that's going to drain some battery. I don't think the Bluetooth is on. I need to check and see if Bluetooth is on, because if it is, I'm gonna turn it off because I don't use it like that. And I think it's working out to be about 1% per minute, but I'm not going to go for another 15 minutes here. I'm going to try to keep these videos kind of short, kind of sweet, make more videos specifically about each topic rather than longer videos including a variety of topics. But maybe in the future, building like a longer episode, maybe an hour long, maybe a live stream of hitting different topics, different articles of conversation. And essentially that's really what I want to do, is drive conversation from these. Some of them I'll read, some of them I'll just be inspired by. This one's pretty lengthy, so I'm not going to sit here and read it to you. But the reason why it even caught my attention is because I don't think that the general consensus on YouTube, really kind of weird how this works out, is of acceptance when it comes to electric vehicles, especially trucks, okay? And we towed with our Ford F-150 Lightning, so you won't have to. I wonder if Ford's ever going to make an F-250 EV. That would be shocking. But most importantly is just the other day, I came across another channel that I watch from time to time, and it's funny because depending on which side you're on, there's a side of YouTube that loves EVs, loves Teslas, loves Rivians, loves Lightnings. They love EV. Then there's another side of YouTube that I think we're more on the side of, and that is, stop trying to cram these EVs down our throat. And then there's this gray area in the middle, and that's where Travaris and Rich Rebuilds, that's where they live. So then there's another corner that's just cars. So you got Amelia Hartford, you got Stradman, you got Seen Through Glass, you got Cars with Luke, and they're going to highlight and showcase the cars, but they're not necessarily going to, I don't think, have a lot of opinion on the news and the politics and everything behind this shift to EV. So I know that depending on the conversation and the topic, YouTube is going to send it to a certain place, and then wherever YouTube sends it, it could drive the narrative to, you know, less than debate and more an agreement of dislike, perhaps. I'm trying to avoid that. And we're now down to 10%, so I got to make this quick. I watched Jerry Rigs Everything, and Jerry Rigs Everything was loading up snowmobile into, he tried loading it into 3 different trucks. I think it was F-150 Lightning, I think a Rivian, I don't remember. I think that was it. And then the last that he ended up using was the Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck. And what I noticed was that his comment section, now granted maybe this is controlled and filtered, but they seem to like these videos. They seem to like these vehicles. Even he himself seems to like it. Not only that, the snowmobiles were fully electric too. Well, he even charged it using the Cybertruck to charge the snowmobile. And I just find it odd. I just find it strange. Now, Jerry Rigs Everything, I mean, he seems like a pretty cool dude. He runs all these tests. He doesn't seem like he really gives a shit about YouTube, and it's more about bringing you guys information and facts and proof and data, and making phone cases, really cool phone cases. But why is it that over there it's accepted and it's cool and it's great and everybody loves it, but then let's just say over here it's not, or at least it hasn't been so far? Is it because of how the title and thumbnail was presented, or is it just because you don't like EVs and you don't like electric trucks? Or is it random? And this video here will be accepted, and we can open up the dialogue and conversation about EVs and trucks from the good and the bad perspective. It's got me scratching my head. But I don't think that I would really want to tow with a Ford F-150 Lightning. I don't think I would really want to put a lot of rely on these, obviously, for the reasons I expressed before in previous videos about the range anxiety. There's a lot of things that I'm not really thrilled about, and the charge time and the cost for charging and all these other things. I don't see an EV in my future anytime soon. That could change. A lot could change. But for now, gas powered, diesel powered, petrol for me. How about you guys? Let me know down in the comments down below. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you soon.